Weight bout between Sandhagen and TJ Dillashaw. Sandhagen at -190, Dillashaw at +155. I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
It's a hard! Bring it up, Devin E. Let's go!
College football lives here. Today's coverage of the 2021 SEC Media Days is brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like that, we're off and running. It is another brand new live edition of Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. It is day 2 of SEC Media Days. Today's coverage of Talkin Ball brought to you by our good friends over at Mr. Sparky. Don't forget, if you need any kind of electrician needs, any kind of home electrician needs, make sure you give our friends at Mr. Sparky a call. They will be there to help you get everything taken care of. Again, the official transportation provider of Talkin Ball, University Kia. We thank them as well. So yesterday, we got everything started for the first time in 2 years here at SEC Media Days. Today is the full day, the first full day of meetings and visitations with players and coaches around the league. Today at 9:05, Drew, Kirby Smart will address the media. JT Daniels, really probably the most high-profile quarterback here at SEC Media Days, will meet the media at 9:30 for the first time. New Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel will take to the stage at 10:30. Mark Stoops from Kentucky at 1:30. And then Lane Kiffin, believe it or not, will make his SEC media debut for Ole Miss. He was here for Tennessee a few years back, but at 2:55 today, he will make his media debut for Ole Miss.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And speaking of Ole Miss, we are kicking off the show quickly, and I will say I have one caveat. I know we just talked about JT Daniels, but really the most high-profile quarterback returning in the SEC is Matt Corral, when you talk about a number standpoint and the impact he had. Now, had a couple of poor games, but you know his numbers are still high and worthy. And so we're going to kick off the show with one of our great friends. We feature him all the time during really not just during college football season, but even throughout the off season. He's a historian of the SEC. He's wearing every hat this week for Sports Radio 56 WHBQ in Memphis, Tennessee, and that is Brett Norsworthy. Brett, great to always have FaceTime with you, my brother. It's been a long time, but we love having you. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. It's great seeing you guys. And what about the California connection with the quarterbacks this year in the SEC? Got the Alabama quarterback, Georgia quarterback, and the Ole Miss quarterback. I mean, there was a time there wouldn't be one California player on an SEC roster. And now you could almost argue Coach Saban recruits California better than SC does.
There's a lot of talk about the quarterbacks this year at the SEC Media Days. They
always have the best-looking girlfriends.
Well, here's
they say it's down, though. They say the quarterback play is down. People outside of the league say the quarterback play is down this year. Do you think that's the case?
They're looking for stuff. I think the Missouri quarterback will be plenty fine, and I think there'll be others. Bo Nix at Auburn. We'll see if Brian Harsin can actually coach him better than the previous head coach, than Gus Malzahn. Because, it had to be a lot of times last year. He would never admit it, that Bo Nix had to go home at night and think, my dad knows a lot more about quarterback play and coaching quarterbacks than my head coach does.
Yeah.
And now Auburn fans will finally admit that. They knew it for years, that he wasn't much, and he's not, and he won't do much at Central Florida.
No, I mean, he's a schemer and a play caller, but he has to have better players.
He's a schemer in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and he made a lot of money at Auburn. We'll see what he does.
He swung for the fences, and those stories, those biographies from and I think I want to say up front, I think coaching matters at every level,
Right.
whether it's Pee Wee football, junior high football, and I admire coaches. I like coaches. I know I have a kinship with them. But those coaches with the biographies of the high school past and kind of the quick meteoric rise to fame, they take their shot, don't they? Whether it's Freeze or you go into that 5-6 and lose that one, it's 3 steps back.
that is true. But I think they're still recovering from the freeze situation, but they're close to being out of it. My final question, I have to ask this: what is your take on Arch Manning?
Arch Manning's recruitment will be the wildest recruitment we've ever seen in the modern era. It will be wilder than Peyton's. I think he will announce, very similar to the young man from Martin, Tennessee. He did it really early. He did it at the Alabama spring game.
Yep.
This is just my guess, pure speculation. I think Arch will announce before his senior season starts, about this time next year, right before it starts, where he can go out and play ball his senior year. That's done, and the recruitment's over. That's just my guess. And then sign in the early period. And I think we'll enroll early. I think, but that family's very much traditional, and they want him to go to prom. They want him to go to be a normal person.
Yeah.
And as hard as it's going to be for him, they're going to try to keep it very normal for him.
And that's why I was laughing. Scott and I had a big laugh on the show.
But they eat pressure for breakfast.
Because Darren Ravel gets on here and says $10 million in NIL, and I just laughed.
Yeah.
I thought Archie will be calling him like, please be quiet.
Yeah.
We're not worried about all that. We just want him to be a kid and play.
Y'all still take Darren Ravel seriously?
Well, we take him about as serious as we do Dan Woke.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Neither does Drew.
Well, really appreciate it, Brett. We always love catching up, man. We've got a busy schedule.
All right.
Man.
Thank
Thank
you
you for joining us.
All right, that's some good stuff. Lane Kiffin again, Ole Miss. They'll be here later this afternoon, 2:55 today, as he makes his rounds here at SEC Media Days. And Drew, we get started 9 o'clock. Kirby Smart, JT Daniels. I tell you what, let's get a break in. When we come back, we'll break down the Georgia Bulldogs. We'll break down Josh Heupel. Plus, let's hear from Ed Orgeron. Let's hear from some of the guys. Dan Mullen from yesterday. You had a chance to visit with both coaches. We'll check in with all of that when we come back.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Just got a wreck on Wall Triana near Ford's Chapel. That's almost up to Harvest Road. That one is coming in as an injury time. Got a jackknife tractor trailer that may be causing some problems. That's on 72 near Stevenson in Jackson County. From routine care to heart failure, Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialists have the expertise to care for all matters of the heart. Captain Nick in the North Parkway, Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
Hometown Lenders was founded right here in North Alabama on old school principles. We like to call them the 4 Ps. The best products, the best processes, competitive pricing, and of course, the best people. It's why we're one of America's fastest growing mortgage lenders. We're now adding a 5th P, the hometown promise. If we don't close on time, you don't pay a dime. Yes, you heard that right. On time, every time, or we refund 100% of our fees.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your insulation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the installation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done
$500 over the competition. And with brand names like PowerPlate, Life Fitness, Hoist, and Bodycraft, you'll have quality equipment that lasts. Financing is available. Quality's guaranteed. Huntsville Fitness Equipment, 7540 South Memorial Parkway, or fitnesszone.com.
This is Wes Neighbor sitting here with Ann Adams. And I understand you have some exciting news.
Yes, Wes, I do. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services was just recognized in the 30th annual Harris Poll Equitrin as the Real Estate Agency Brand of the Year and the most trusted real estate brand.
That is awesome news, Ann. Great companies in Huntsville, Alabama, winning awards is what we want. Is it a great time to list your home?
Yes, it is. The inventory is low and the market is heating up.
And I understand you're also looking for agents.
I am. We are so busy, Wes, we need agents to keep up with the demand.
Ann Adams and Rise Real Estate has been doing business in North Alabama for the last 35 years. If you want to do business with someone you can trust, she has been writing contracts since she was 9 years old. Call Ann today at 256-337-2625.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. The electrical panel is the heart of your home's electrical system. Malfunctions can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk or in the dark altogether. Fixing it quickly will help keep you and your family safe. So trust our team of electrical experts at Mr. Sparky to get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888 8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Don't miss the savings during Lowe's Just for Pros event. Stop by the Pro Desk and get an extra 5% off volume savings orders over $1,500. Plus, look for more savings across the store, including tools, paint, lighting, and other pro essentials to help you get the job done right. Shop today at Lowe's, the new home for pros. Discount on eligible product only.
Alabama. Wanted to ask about a local kid.
Pro Desk in store for details. Now through July 30th. U.S. only.
Hit the hard! Hard! Bring it up, grab a knee. Let's go.
College football lives here. Today's coverage of the 2021 SEC Media Days is brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Join us this afternoon from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
And a big thanks to our Tuesday sponsor for making our coverage of Talking Ball possible this morning, and that is Mr. Sparky of Huntsville. Make sure you give Mr. Sparky a call, 256-380-5619. See why they are the trusted choice for quality services. Request their help now. Professional services that fit your budget. Schedule an appointment with
take a growth and learn where you are. And we really, I expect him to jump into, being a starter, being an every down player for us this season. And, so I'm really excited to see that growth throughout guys' career. You talk about development, and you look at the growth throughout their career. I think people get all excited. Hey, I want to see this guy play right away. I'm more excited to see, are we seeing a consistent growth throughout your career? And Jaden's the guy that's done that.
Dan Mullen.
Yeah, it's a good answer there. Like as I was saying, my apologies. I didn't know the question was already queued up, but I was just going to ask him about Jaden Hill, Bob Jones Patriot. Watched him play in high school. I do remember the unfortunate knee injury about halfway through. He was having a good senior season. I think he had just committed to Florida just a short time before that, and had a lot of really good offers coming out of high school. And as Coach Mullen, you heard, he's really, made a nice recovery. He had 5 starts last year, so he started to really get a lot of time in their secondary, which struggled. But he had a good spring. He's slated right now to start at left corner. So just a guy from our community once again that's playing at the highest level of college football, and wanted to get Dan Mullen's opinion on him. And I asked his 2 teammates too, about that as well, that spoke to the media. Ventrell Miller, the linebacker, and certainly Zachary Carter, the defensive lineman. Those 2 guys are going to be integral parts of that defense. And I wanted to know their opinion on their teammate, and they were both very high on him, and how he's played, and prepared himself, how he played last year. So it's really a cool thing to see a guy from the Huntsville-Madison County area play well, and Jaden Hill's done that, and he's certainly going to have to hold off some talented young guys. And they made some changes in their coaching staff too. A new cornerbacks coach, new safeties coach. But again, it looks like he's off to a good start for this coming season as far as his preparation in the spring. If he can carry that over into the fall, Jaden Hill is going to play a lot of football for the Gators.
Well, he is not the only one we'll be talking. We will talk North Alabama with Vanderbilt as well coming up later in the week, as a former James Clemens Jet will be here on hand for Vanderbilt.
Yes, Damian Davis.
Yes.
He's really done a nice job in his career since playing for Wade Waldrop. He was kind of overshadowed. They had a really good defense during his time there. Of course, LeBron Ray, Monty Rice, everybody knows that, Kyrique McDonald. But he was a really good, productive interior defensive lineman. Really good student, too, as you can obviously see with him going to Vanderbilt. But he's had a nice career so far. Really impressed Clark Lee and his staff. So that's another young man from the city of Madison that's going to be here speaking to the media tomorrow. Yep. I believe that's Nick Saban and Clark Lee lead off our morning session.
All right, you also, or I should not say also, Dan Mullen talked about the quarterback room for the Gators. There was a lot of talk yesterday about replacing a Kyle Trask under center. Here is Coach Mullen on the quarterback room for the Florida Gators.
Yeah, I guess after, I think as Greg mentioned, 13 years here, I don't know which my bread and butter is, because we've been all over the place with every different style of quarterback. From if you go back to even being a coordinator, you go back to the Alex Smiths and the Chris Leaks. Through the Tebows, to Tyler Russell and Dak Prescott and Chris. I mean, there's been so many different variations. I think the key to it is, and one of the reasons we've been successful is never trying to take a square peg and put it into a round hole. Is let's identify what our guys do really well and build around the strengths of not just the quarterback, but the offense as a whole. And we will go to do that this year and build around the strengths of our quarterbacks.
Can Florida be successful with the quarterbacks that they have?
Well, I mean, you would think so. Look, Emory Jones has a similar skill set to a Dak Prescott. Probably not as polished a passer, but look, Dak got better every year. When you look at Dan Mullen and his time at Mississippi State with Nick Fitzgerald as well, he's flourished with dual threat QBs and guys that could run the football. Matter of fact, before he got to Florida, of course, that magical year in 2014, as we remember,